Hi crafty friends, thank you for joining me. So this week I launched the new kit, which was the Floral Fancies Summer Sensations. Easy to say. So there is a big kit, which is the finished cards that I've been showing this week. And this is part of it, but I was asked to do some of the flower forming sheets as singles, so they are available on their own on the website if it's just the flower forming sheets you want. So the idea of this is using the floral image. This could be one of your flower stamps or a die or something that you already have in your stash. If you don't have anything on your stash, then this is available for download. And what I will do is I will pop a link in the description of the video and the first comment, because I know sometimes it's hard to see the descriptions of the video if you're on a mobile phone. It's a lot easier to see if you're on a tablet, so I will pop the links in both places so you can find them easier. So as I say, you might have already something in your stash that you can use. It's all about how to shape the petals and how to cut the flowers to get the most shape, profile and definition out of them. So all I'm doing is, and I'm not going to be doing all of these, I'm only going to do a few, is I'm just taking my scissors and I'm just slowly cutting out the individual flowers just to make it easier to work with. So a lot of questions I get are about my snips. These are nothing fancy. It doesn't have to be brand specific. These particular ones are Martha Stewart, but we are memory keepers. Have a set. There's lots of different brands on the market. So what you're looking for is you want some really thin, sharp snips at that end, and you want something comfortable to hold at that end. It just makes cutting out so much easier. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut around the petals, and as you can see, this is quite effortless. I'm just guiding the paper around with this hand. And as there's a lot of the designs that I've been doing lately have intentionally not had thick black outlines, I just find it easier to work with. So if you do go over or go under your lines, no one's going to know. I just think it looks a little bit more natural. So I'll cut these out. Not paying too much attention. This is one of my great little things to do while I'm watching the TV, especially when it's something that's been on before and you don't have to pay that much attention. Right, so there's a few different sizes on the sheet. So what you can do is you can layer them all up to make one flower, so you've got gradients of layers, or you can create different sizes of the same flower, if that makes sense. So I'll do a few to show you what I'm rambling on about. Just to address some of the questions that have been in the group this week, every now and then I get a message from lovely customers asking if my downloads are for a one-time only use. No, my downloads you can print time and time again as many times as you like, and you can sell as many cards as possible, as long as the thing that you're selling has been handmade by you. Then go for it. Make as many as you can and make as much money off them as you can. That is the whole point of me doing this, is to try and provide card makers with unusual designs. I know what it's like. I've been selling my handmade cards now since 94, showing me age. And it's hard because sometimes you get orders for something and you just might not have that one thing in your stash. So like the other week I got an order for a ballerina card. The thing is, when you get custom orders like that, there is lots of stamps and dies and things on the market that you can buy that are ballerina themed. But the thing is, if you've got to buy a stamp set and it's say $14.99, how much are you going to charge for that card? It's just not making it financially viable. How many times are you going to make a ballerina card? Are you going to get your return out of it? And that's what takes this from being a hobby into a business, because you've got to think about your return. You've got to think about your margins. You've got to think about the profit. You've got to try and be a bit frugal. What helped me was, years and years ago, what I used to do is I actually used to itemise how much it used to cost to make cards. And I used to have a rate card for me time, and that used to help me work it all out of how much I should be charging for my projects. And I explained in one of my videos the other week, sometimes you spend so long on a project you couldn't feasibly ask for what you would like for it because it just wouldn't sell. So what I do is I have a good, better, best range. I have ones that are quick, easy to make, and they don't owe us a lot of money, so I can rally them off. If somebody was to order a box set of them, I can make them really, really quickly, and it's not going to take too much materials. Because I tell you what, there's nothing worse than having an online shop, say an Etsy shop for your cards, and you've got maybe 100 handmade cards on there. And let's face it, with Etsy these days, you have to drive all the traffic to your shop unless you're going to pay for ads. So you've got 100, feasibly, bear with us, you've got 100 cards in your shop, and you're trying your best to try and navigate people to it. And somebody comes along and goes, yeah, I really like this one, but can I have it in blue? Or this one's for a baby girl, can I have it in a boy? Or can I have 3? Have you got enough of the same materials or different materials to be able to do the orders? That's one of the decisions I made back in the early days, is I don't do 2 of the same unless it's a special request. All of my designs are different. Oops, if you want to call them, one of a kinds. They might be similar, but I never make 2 the same. So, to explain what I'm doing, to show you, to bring up these edges, because I've cut into the flower, I'm starting at the top and I'm going to pull back on itself. Start at the top, pull back on itself, and I'm literally going to go around and do that with every layer. So this has been downloaded because I save mine on the drive as well, so I download them when I need them. If you're new to downloads, one of the things that I started doing years ago is you have a little library on my device and pop all your downloads in there so you can find them really easily. So that is the flower as it's being shaped. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over and give it a sharp press in the centre. And because I've given that such a press, they have really come up on themselves. So we'll do another big one. Go right around the outside and pull it in on itself. Now I'm using a mid-weight paper for this. It's 160 GSM and it's a super smooth. And this is a new paper to me. I only picked this up last week from Hobbycraft, and as you can see, it prints beautifully. So the one I normally get wasn't in stock online, so I opted for this one. I'm quite pleased with the results. So just turn that over and I'm just going to give that a press in the centre. And you can see the lovely shape that's come up with these. I love doing this. I could spend all day making flowers. Hey, I might start doing a handmade flower business. What do you think? Would there be any interest? Let us know if you would like to buy some already made. But yeah, I just find this really, really therapeutic. So I'm starting at the top. You need a mid-sized ball tool for this. As a little bit of a gauge, the tip of the flower wants to be pretty much the same size as the ball tool. If you go too big, it won't give you the detail that you need, because it's basically, when I'm pulling down there, it's the width of the petals hugging the ball tool. So if you use a ball tool that's too big, you're not going to get the definition of the petals coming in on themselves. But at the same time, if you use too small of a ball tool, you're going to have to go over and over, and you just don't get the same effect. So for anybody new watching, hi, welcome. I am a frugal crafter. I love to do videos for people that don't have all of the tools, kit and caboodle, that you need to do everything. I'm showing you this technique, but if you've got stamps in your stash, use them. If you've got dies in your stash, use them. This is just another option for people that don't have anything suitable and they would like to make something like these flowers. So your bare essential tools for me: glue gun. Oh, Carol, I promised our Carol I would show me low melt glue gun. Now this one has got to be about 10 years old. It's from Yoo-Hoo and it's my trusty little workhorse. This one's a little bit more gluey, but as I say, I've had it about 10 years. So this is my cool melt glue gun. This is me hot, and my big daddy's in the workshop for me flower arranging stuff. So the cool melt, hot melt, but my glue sticks are variable, they're cool and hot, so I can use the same sticks in both guns. Now, go online, do your research and just see which one is more suitable for you. This one does get hot, so if you catch yourself, you're still going to burn, but it's not going to be as severe as this one. What I would say to you is, when you're selecting a glue gun, you want to make sure that the ends are metal and not plastic, because I find plastic nips, the leak, you get a dribble, you end up with a pool of glue on the mat, and don't think you can get in as close much detail. I find these so much easier to work with, and I prefer the results of them. So this is a completely unendorsed, it's just my opinion, but me hot glue and me cool melt. Now cool melt I love using for flowers, loads of different projects, paper crafts, but it doesn't quite get hot enough. And I make home decor items, I make wreaths and hearts, and I do a lot of MDF craft as well, and I prefer the hot one for me MDF crafts because it sticks instantly. So it's completely personal preference. I find this one an all-rounder for me, and this is the one I tend to have on the table most of the time. So that's the glue gun. You want a really good foam mat. This is a flower foaming mat. I've had this one for donkeys years and years, which is why it's well loved, and it's covered in hot glue, predominantly hot glue and wet glue that's dried. Ball tool, this one's a really old one as well from Tonic Studios. You can still buy these, they're a different colour, but they're in sets. I have a 7mm on that end and a 3mm at that end. So just to give you an idea, for me normally I'd be looking at a 2 to 3 on this size and a 7 to 8 at that end, and that would be pretty much all I need. So you've got your foam mat for shaping, your ball tool for shaping. scissors for cutting out, cheapy pair of scissors from the pan shop, so I don't have to worry about it. These are the ones I use for snipping me little bits of wire on me berries, on me craft wire. I don't have to worry about breaking them. They're only £1, they're easily replaced, but these are doing really well and I've had these nearly a year. So back to the flowers. Haven't snipped these in, so I'm just going into the centre, right up to where the fuzzy layers of the gerbera start. And I love gerberas. I think they look quite nice in a photographic style as well. They make really cute 3D flowers. So if anyone would like us to do some of those, I'll easily whip together some of them sheets for you. Let us know. So anybody new watching, we do have a little Facebook group, lovely little community where we share tips, techniques, projects. You're welcome to share all of your own handmade cards and projects. We love to see other people's work. So what I will do is there will be a Linktree link in the first comment or the description of the video, and basically that is the main profile link for everything you need if you're looking for me for anything. So my Facebook group, my download shop, my Etsy shop, my Instagram account, Twitter, Pinterest, Facebook, my Redbubble shop. Redbubble is a print-on-demand company. So basically, as an artist, I can create my own designs, which is what I do for most of my work, like the dogs and stuff that I've done for the ladies this week. The artwork was already existing because I'd done it for my Redbubble shop. So people can order mugs and stickers and pillars and bags and all stuff around the home, and great gift ideas as well as clothing, bedding, you name it, they do it. And how it works is, as an artist, I upload my design to the Redbubble shop. The customer places the order, but what's really cool is the print company, the nearest registered print company with Redbubble to the customer gets the order. So for all I'm in the UK, you could be in Australia and you could have a print shop down the road, receive the order, make it and send it to you. That way it cuts down the time in the customer getting the order. 2, it makes it a lot cheaper for them for shipping. And 3, it's keeping business local. So it's business as near to you, or as near as can be, being kept in work, traditional print shops and fabric printers and stuff like that. So it's quite important to me, and I think it's quite a nice story behind it. So so yeah, a lot of my designs exist anyway because I created them for my Redbubble store. Back to the flowers. So all of these you can see are quite shapely now, and it's just a case of layering them up. Now there are no rules for this. What I do when I'm looking for them is, that one to me is more pronounced, it's got more of a shape than that one has, so I'm going to pick that one up, pop some glue on the bottom, and then I'll use my ball tool just to secure it in place, because if I was to do that with my finger, it'll be quite hot off the glue, so just be careful with the glue. And there's my little gerbera created. This one's quite pronounced, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the size. That one with the 2 layers were identical size. When I've cut them out the sheet, I've gone for that one and that one on top of each other. Well, for the next one, I'm going to go for a big one and a smaller one on top, just to show you the difference. So I'll turn that round, and it doesn't matter which way. You don't have to look at that layer and say, right, that one's facing there, so I want to put the other one identically on top. I think they look more natural if you just turn them round, because the petal underneath is not going to be directly above or below the next layer that you're putting on, so it just gives it a little bit more of a realistic finish. So that one, bit more glue. There we go. And then that's your little flowers made. Now normally with my handmade flowers, this little order out. So for these type of flowers, normally what I would do is I would put little beads and gems and stamens in the centres, the little berry tops. But for these, because they're printed, I designed them in a way that's quite realistic in the fact of this is exactly what gerbers are. They have that really fluffy centre, which is the seeds. Eventually you can dry them out and plant them, and sometimes you get plants grow off them. So I wouldn't put, you can put, it's completely up to you, you could put stamens and things in, but I think they look quite nice the way they are. So what I would be tempted to do with them is just pop a little bit of glossy accents in, or some stickles, just to add a little bit of gloss, a little bit of shine. But I don't think they need a lot. On the card you saw me make that I posted this week with the gerbers on, all I did with them is a tiny little bit of stickles. Now that's quite white, but that will dry clear and it'll just give them lovely little glossy centres. So as I say, I hope you've liked this video. I will be doing a lot more flower videos. I was going to be doing a video with dies, but sadly there's been a bit of a mix up with my porcelain. I haven't had my dies yet, so I will be looking to do that on Monday for you. So let me know in the comments if you would like me to do the osteopermum sheet that I've got on the website. I'll easily pop a video together for you for that. Please do pop over and join me on Facebook if you've got any questions. It's a lot easier to chat on there. And thank you for joining us this afternoon, and hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.